Good morning. Good morning to you, DJ Wonder Chrissy, with the breaking migrant mayhem news. Yeah, we got some good videos for you today about the unraveling of Denver. Denver seems to be have some cracks, showing some cracks in Denver, and we got a friend. Leaving us some comments from Denver, the Last Incarnate. A shout out to the Last Incarnate, who he's not happy with what's going on in Denver, and I don't blame him. So let's kind of peer into what's going on in Denver. Here's a gentleman on the street.
So the thing is one, it's to try and control the problems that come with these migrants.
Yeah.
Because these migrants are from a different culture, and one of the things that their culture is things we'd consider domestic violence is normal to their culture.
In their country, yeah.
So, they're readjusting, they're reorienting.
I tell people that.
And then there's also, unfortunately, overly, and I hate to say it, liberal white folk, not the conservative liberal white folk, come up in here and they will freaking literally cause problems for the migrants. And they'd be more problematic than the migrants themselves.
I hear you.
So,
yeah, with the protests and stuff, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's not even that. Some people just come up in here, you'll get a rich white dude who wants to hit up on a young Venezuelan chick, or you'll get that young gangsta black guy who's looking to make some money off of these new guys who are just trying to get it.
Yeah, I'm going to put them on the street, have them work for me, give them a couple dollars. I see what you're saying. What's going on with the...
So there you go. There's some on the street reaction to what's going on in Denver. They're even, if Denver's a woke city. Denver has always been a woke city. You can blame it on the lack of oxygen in the air in Denver, but they're actually now. Here's a video where the people are, some of the people on the city council or what have you are asking the department heads to check their math, because supposedly they thought it was going to cost them $180 million this year. Now they're saying $120 million, and they've had 5,000 migrants at one point. They're down to 2,500 now. So I don't know where all these migrants have gone. Maybe they bust them to Chicago and in warmer climates. Maybe that's how they did it. But let's listen in as they try to make sure that their woke math is still working.
It has asked its agencies to cut up to 15% of their budgets to pay for the migrant crisis. But City Council's point person on the budget says something isn't adding up. She wants more clarity on how to spend tax dollars. Our Kelly Rinke has that.
Denver's migrant crisis may not be as expensive as the city thought. $120 million the city now projects, down from $100
They're going to actually save money.
Some exciting updates to share. Department of Human Services on Wednesday updated City Council on the costs, but the numbers didn't make much sense to Council member Stacy Gilmore.
I'm trying to make sure how we're tracking, because we haven't received a
No one's tracking, we're just spending.
Beyond these PowerPoint presentations, documentation-wise, how you're calculating the numbers.
She's questioning the math.
CRT math.
We'll have to vote on setting aside millions of taxpayer dollars to help migrants.
I need more specificity around how we're arriving at these numbers to be able to vote on.
We're just pulling them out of our butt.
Gilmore told us she wants a more detailed cost breakdown.
Yeah, that sort of numbers are coming from.
15%. The mayor's office thinks it could be less due to lower projections.
And now he's still trying to get to $120 million. That's a significant percentage.
I'd tell you, if you spend zero, you wouldn't have to budget anything. Wouldn't that work, huh? Zero. Let's use zero, and then the problem is just totally over.
Agency budget. And without a spreadsheet, I'm doing back of the napkin math myself to try to figure this out.
Denver has gone from 7 hotels, they've commandeered 7 hotels this winter, down to 3. So they're drastically cutting their shelter, quote unquote, shelter space, and we're gonna see what happens, and they're a couple of weeks ahead of Chicago for clearing out the shelters, as we call it. But we're gonna find out how this is gonna end.
Mayor's office says it's reviewing budgets with department leaders, and they expect to share more numbers in April.
We still need to make sure that that math is mathing to make those good decisions.
Gilmore is confident the city will be able to find $120 million with those budget cuts. She's more concerned the public didn't really weigh in on this process. City says no one knows the budgets more than the department leaders.
Yeah, I think part of this, and you hear her echo this, and we hear it from next viewers, we hear it from citizens, is that all of this is happening on an emergency basis, right? I don't think anybody would deny it is an emergency. And then you've got the homelessness crisis, also on an emergency basis. And the numbers by the hundreds of millions are just flying by.
I mean, we're talking about a lot of money here, right? I think she's kind of like having this message of like, let's pump the brakes and like figure out where we're going to get this money and how we get this money. She just really wants that transparency before she makes that vote.
Well, that's a shared value here. Certainly, we want people to know where their money is going. Kelly Rinke.
Drinking.
So how Denver is going to pay for this? They're like closing the DMV every other day. They're closing recreational parks, indoor recreational facilities. They're cutting back on like lifeguards or part-time workers in these facilities. So they're taking money out of people's mouths and in essence giving it to the migrants. So they've got to come up with. I mean, they're doing what I guess they need to do. They need to come up with the money from somewhere. But when you do that, you're taking it away from somebody and giving it to someone else. And guess what? The person that was working for the DMV or the Park District or whoever is an American citizen. American citizen paying an American taxes. You're taking the money to them and you're giving it to an illegal alien. Let me say that again. You're giving it to an illegal alien who's not paying taxes, who should not be here, and who's just consuming money and services without even paying into the system. They're begging, stealing, and who knows what else, right? So let's play another one where they talk about nonprofits are running out of money too in Denver, and they're scaling back, and the money's starting to dry up, folks. Money's starting to dry up, and people are starting to the smart people are starting to recognize it. Now, the people that don't recognize it, the cities that don't recognize it, are going to just still spend, and they're going to have themselves in a bind, a big financial bind.
To curb a projected budget shortfall, the city of Denver says it will scale back on migrant services.
A big part of that will be closing 4 of the 7 hotels that are being used to shelter migrants. This shift is expected to save the city $60 million. In the last couple of weeks, the number of migrants arriving in Denver has...
I hope that they didn't need those hotels. Or did they just throw those migrants out on the street and say, hey, we can't afford this, get on the streets, live in a tent? I wonder what the pictures I've seen, there's no snow in Denver right now, but they can get it overnight pretty quickly. So if you're living in a tent and like 5 inches of snow comes along, it's not going to be a good situation.
Down quite a bit. As of today, 2,300 people are in city-run shelters, and an average of 30 are arriving daily. These numbers are down from a high of nearly 5. So
they're getting like a bus a day. I haven't heard anything from Chicago in the last week. No talk of buses whatsoever. But I did hear this morning that Arizona and California are being overrun right now. They've had like 12,000 people in the last 3 or 4 days down in the southwest sector where San Diego and Arizona border crossings are.
1,000 people in shelters and more than 200 daily arrivals back in December and January. Your reporter in Denver, Jasmine Arenas, spoke with nonprofits.
What was that name again? Uranus.
Your reporter in Denver, Jasmine Arenas, spoke with nonprofits who
during the front lines of this crisis. And Jasmine, Mayor Johnson says he wants to double down on more permanent solutions.
Mayor Johnston is focused
Oh, Uranus.
work authorization permits and housing assistance. But this is essentially work that nonprofits have already been doing for months on end. The city of Denver is scaling back on migrant assistance.
Our plan is to try to close these shelters and keep them closed.
Moving forward, the city plans to continue to focus on providing case management and housing assistance to newcomers. It's a work nonprofits have been doing for over a year.
It's been 14 long months, and so it means that we're seeing some results in a positive way that, we're getting people housed.
What the mayor or city of Denver is trying to create is a bigger support, so nonprofits are going to shelters.
More navigators and volunteers are helping, but it hasn't been easy even after families receive funds for a deposit. And
So it looks like maybe they're starting to use the money to the nonprofits to open a shelter versus giving these people the luxury of a hotel room, which makes sense. I mean, you shouldn't be living large off the taxpayer, and you're not even a taxpayer. You're here illegally.
First month's rent.
It almost takes about 3 months for people to be a little bit more sustainable.
Yoli Casa says now nonprofits
How much money can you make by washing windshields? Just think about that.
are going to be following up with families to make sure they can make ends meet.
A week before the rent's due, we say, how you doing? Have you saved enough?
Tell me if this happens to you. Do you get someone calling you, asking you if you can make your house payment or your rent payment, or if you got enough for groceries? This seems a little absurd here.
How's everything going? And so that way we can go ahead and say, hey,
Let's play that again.
we say, how you doing? Have you saved enough? How's everything going? And so that way we can go ahead and say, hey, this family might need help. They're short 500.
Working towards
Hey, I'm short over here. Why don't you throw a couple of bucks this way too, lady? Jeez. How absurd is that? This is Denver, folks. Let me remind you, this is Denver, where there's not a lot of oxygen in the air, obviously.
clinics are also scheduled in the days ahead to assist 700 more people.
USCIS, who actually processes these applications, is directly on site, and all of these folks have already been screened for application and have received fee waivers.
Now it's estimated 40 to 60% of people
Jasmine Uranus
don't stay in
reporting.
The city is helping those folks by providing them with bus tickets to other cities. Live in Denver, Jasmine Arenas covering Colorado First.
All right, Jasmine, thank you. And Jasmine covers what's impacting Denver neighborhoods. So if you have a story idea for her to look into, we sure hope you'll reach out through cbscolorado.com. And you can always call our tip.
So there you go. That's Denver. I hope they have like oxygen sensor on some of these people, because some of them are talking crazy. They're just talking crazy. And I don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you. So that's Denver, folks. That is Denver. Not much coming out of Chicago still. It's like almost like a media blackout. I'm not even, I told you I heard there was tens of thousands in the last couple of days down in California and Arizona, but very, very little footage. I didn't see any footage streaming. They got Bill Maloogian on the presidential beat now, so I don't know. Not even seeing much out of Fox this morning. So seems to be like a media blackout on the migrants for some reason. And just weird, folks. Just weird. Even JLR. I checked on my buddy JLR Investigates, and he's got other stuff going on. He's not really reporting on the border much lately. So just hang tight, folks. We'll get you news as we can. And this is what's going on. You heard of the diaper shortage in Chicago. They're out of diapers and tampons in the shelters, and in need of some more. I don't know if they turn them into turn them into cherry turnovers or what, but maybe they do that when they're done and they can eat them. Who knows? Did you see that there was a news article today on Fox about, oh, Mofo. Come on, Mofo. She's pretty hot looking. She's not bad looking. She's not a good, although the other ones I saw the other day in Denver were much hotter. The ones I had the other day were real hot. She's not bad. She's not bad. I wouldn't kick her out of bed. Believe me. Did you see on Fox they had something about some kids in Oklahoma raising funds for their school by sucking feet and toes? I'm not even going to show you that one. Google that. Google that. That's going on in Oklahoma. The center Midwest of Chicago has gone crazy. So, hey, Mofo, good to see you today. Hope you're doing okay. And he says Uranus is a bad reporter. So, you got her number there, buddy. Give her a call. Tell her she needs a upper game or something. But so there you have it. Today was all Denver all day. And as I said, Mofo, I think some of these people in Denver are lacking a little bit of oxygen. Maybe that's the problem. It's just not that they're a bad reporter. They just need to get some more oxygen in their system. At that mile-high city, things happen in your brain and you don't even realize it. So, where are we at? We're 17 minutes in. I think we're done for today. Thank you for joining as we cover the migrant mayhem in this great nation. I am DJ Wonder Chrissy. I'm getting ready for Major League Baseball. I think April 1st, the first week of April, we're going to have opening day here in Chicago, most likely. So we're just a month away from opening day. I am Land Cruiser Midwest. Like, share, and subscribe because it matters, folks. We need the help with the algorithm. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you. DJ Wonder Chrissy for Migrant Mayhem. Over and out. See ya.